Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. It's your favorite, your most hated Oddfella. Back for another episode of the Usual Suspect 6 Fight Previews. Salute to everybody. Salute to the Usual Suspect 6 Fight Pool players. And of course, salute to my co-hosts, navigating this episode with me again. Week 10, we got the queen, Shawa.
Hey, Phil, how you doing, fam?
I'm good. You know what I mean? Week 9 was kind of, you know what I mean? It was lightweight. You know what I mean? Lightweight, baby. In the words of Crow Maximus, aka Drew Titan. You know what I mean? Salute to Bronx on deck. You know what I mean?
Shout out, bro, Drew.
But I believe this week, there is more fights. Well, once again, F-Tank, you know what I mean, for being the primarily responsible for taking away 4 championship fights off this US6 fight card. You know what I mean? Fight preview. There would have been 8 today. You know what I mean? That we're previewing, but
right,
we only got 4. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're doubling up from last week. You know, dig?
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of last week, let's take a look at the leaderboards, the US6 leaderboards. Once again, after week 9 weeks of pick'ems, TD Sports Talk is still in the lead on 53 points. The lead is somewhat diminishing. He did have to eat a crow this week, along with me and you, Queen, because old boy Flores looked as bad as his haircut.
Good Lord, yes.
So, shout out TD Sports. He's still on top, 24-8 record, 53 points. Queens had a good week. She's risen back up to the second spot. Solid 50 points, 24-8 record. Same record as TD Sports. Queens right on TD's heels.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Myself, Ricky 905 are tied for third place with both with 47 points, identical record, 23-9. Stay ready, Mac is on the move.
On the rise.
On the move, on the rise, on the climb. You know what I mean? He's now climbed up to the number 4 spot, 46 points, same record as me. You know what I mean? He's right on my neck. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Will he overtake me? I believe not. You know what I mean? I believe not. You know what I mean? I got talking into existence, Queen. You know what I mean? Salute to the rookie of the year right now, rookie of season 2, Michael Ray. He's holding it down with the number 5 spot, 45 points, just a point back from Stay Ready Mac. Identical record, 23-9. 503 Line is also making his climb. He was having some rough weeks earlier on in the season, but he's now making his turn to the top. Also tied with Michael Ray, 45 points, but has 10 crow on his resume right now, which is a damn near I think 503 the whole season only had like 8 crow, you know what I mean? So, but the stakes is higher this season, most definitely. D-Man Jr. ranked at number 7, 42 points, 21-11 record, tied with the Good Doctor, but the Good Doctor's ranked number 8, 39 points. He had a decent week, week number 9 as well, not having the E-Crow. The Queen, Shawala holding down the 9th spot with 36 points. And the rookie D-Free is at the number 10 slot with 34 points and a 20-12 record in a dig. So It's a regular week for all US6 Fight Pool players. Friday is the due date. You know what I mean? The due date for all incoming picks in the day.
Right.
But before we get into the weekly picks and our fight previews for week 10, let's get a little word from our sponsors. Shop Usual suspect6.com. You see it down there in the ticker. Make sure y'all visit the site, you know what I mean? And yeah, check out some of that drip, you know what I mean? And speaking of which,
it's a Usual Suspect day.
I recognize that one. Good shoes.
Black Star Trainers, US6 Black Star Trainers available now on Shop Usual Suspect6.com. You know what I mean? Because you fit the description in the dig. Without further ado, we got week 10's US6 fight card. Which fight are you looking forward to most this week, Queen?
Probably the rematch between Eubank and Ben, but to be honest, every week I'm excited about all fights.
Indeed. Well, let's break down this first fight. We'll get into this Azim and Kurt Scooby.
Yeah.
Or is it Kurt Scooby?
I think it's Scooby, but everybody calls him Scooby.
Because I think he has an Instagram handle says Scooby.
Yeah, I think that's his name is Scooby, but I think it's pronounced Scooby.
Indeed. Well, did you watch the face-off
no.
between the two?
That one I didn't. I'm about to run it while we're sitting here.
Because he did address that, you know what I mean? I don't like this kid, Azim, to be real with you. I mean, he halfway nice. Like, I got to put respect on his boxing skill set and what he brings to the ring. In the fashion, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Amir Khan a bit.
Yeah.
And not just because he's like of Pakistani descent or nothing like that, but his style, his length, his speed, he throws fast combinations.
Yes, he does. Got some speed.
But there's just something I just don't like about him. He was in there trying to corny, trying to clown Kurt.
Cornily.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a word. Then Kurt Scooby, going Scooby Dooby doing all this bullshit. You know what I mean? And Kurt was just grilling him like, "Is that all you got?" type of shit. Like, bro, like you gonna be in for like a hard 10-12 rounds, whatever this fight's gonna be at in the dig.
Mm-hmm.
But Adam Azim, 13-0, 10 KOs. A standout fighter out of the UK. Also, fashions himself the assassin. No, this man does not look like no damn assassin to me.
In no manner.
I mean, this fraudulent assassin, respectfully, is 23 years old. You know what I mean? Fights out of orthodox stance. Sizable fighter at 140, being at 5'10". Interesting that they don't have his reach listed.
Exactly.
You might have a short reach, to be honest.
You think so? I think it's about average to maybe a little longer.
Because that might even increase the reason why his hands look so fast. Because when you got those sort of arms and you gotta be doing the blurs and whatnot, that might put a little bit on it. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. Interesting enough, usually when you see peruse through these European records, you see a lot of binary shit, but not bad.
No, he doesn't have a bad resume.
Not bad. And they're starting to move him quick. You know what I mean? You see guys like 23-1, Aram, Fanalian, this undefeated guy, Enoch Poulsen, 14-0 for the European belt, right? European EBU Championship. Now, this is when he kind of caught my eye in when he beat O'Hara Davies and stopped him in 8. O'Hara Davies was, I would say, past his prime or a bit, you know what I mean, shot.
I agree.
Say after multiple beatings from guys like the likes of Jack Catterall, old man Ishmael Barroso.
Yeah, I think he was a little past it for me, but hey.
But Sergey Lipinets, that win, that ninth round stoppage against Lipinets is actually aging well, so to speak. We saw how Lipinets looked against Birisov. What's his name?
Right? Arthur Biarslanov. Yeah. Again, another.
And old boy took him 12 rounds, 10 rounds.
10. Yeah.
10 hard rounds. Couldn't get him out of there. Adam Azim clinically washed Lipinets, made him look old, and stopped him in 9.
I agree with that. Yeah, he did.
I mean, so not bad from Adam Azim. He has been rumored to be a duck. A lot of fans across the pond were looking forward to a domestic matchup between him and Dalton Smith, who's now fighting in line to fight Sabril Matias for, I believe, the IBF championship.
Right, but Adam is supposed to be getting some more seasoning before, apparently from what Dalton was saying, before they have a match. So we'll see.
So he's admitting boxer Ben Shalom is admitting the boy needs some seasoning. Do you remember who was the original opponent? Oh, my bad. Wasn't it Zaur Abdullaev?
I'm not sure. I was looking for that. I didn't quite get to it, but
Zaur Abdullaev, yes, he was. I'm actually 100% sure that it was Zaur Abdullaev that was the original opponent.
That would have been an interesting fight.
Apparently, he had visa issues.
I did hear the opponent had issues there with the visa. Yes.
Yeah. So, but funny enough, I seen Abdullaev. He's signed for another fight coming up shortly in Russia.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be on IBA. That's interesting.
So in comes the late replacement, I believe maybe 2 weeks notice. Kurt Scobie, 18-1, 16 KOs, one loss was by stoppage. He's 30 years old. Was he a former football player? At what level? I don't know.
Yes, NFL. I don't know which team, but yep, he's a former ball player.
Okay. Fights out of the orthodox stance. He's listed at 5'9".
Yeah.
I question that.
I do too.
That's highly questionable to me. Yeah, he might be 5'6", 5'7".
Ooh, yeah.
Let's look at his record. Unimpressive, binary, as you like to say.
That's the first fight, though.
I mean, there's really not much to talk about. Like,
no, as you go up, it doesn't get better, but
it doesn't really get much better. Like, okay, I'll give you John Manu because he's undefeated, but I'm not even gonna click on his resume. You know what I mean? I already know what it is. Hammer and Hank Lundy.
Yeah, that was bad.
But look at the consecutive losses here. 5 consecutive losses.
Exactly.
That's the type of form that Hammer and Hank was going into. So, I mean, that's a win against a journeyman, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Carmona 11-0. Credit to that. Stopped him in 6. This right here, though, 6-round stoppage against Dakota Linger. I don't like that at all.
That was bad. That was bad. That showed me a lot of things that I think still are present. At least one of them.
And what's the thing that's present that you think that's a detriment to Kurt Scobie?
He still is able to be hit with the. I'm not gonna give away too much. He's still taking a certain shot that Dakota was landing over and over and over and over again. Even though he's under the tutelage of a new coach. Shout out to Coach Bermudez.
He hasn't avenged the Dakota Linger loss yet, but he has moved on to string 4 straight wins together against what I would say is nondescript opponents. Best one being Haskell Rose, who's a certified veteran, decent form, and it was 31-7, stopped him in 6. Last fight against Alex Martin. I don't remember that fight. Do you remember seeing that fight?
It was a couple of weeks ago. I tried to find it at the time. I found it thereafter, but the night it was playing, I couldn't find it. But I am familiar with Alex, and I wasn't surprised at the outcome. I'll just say that.
Stopped him in 8. That was in New York, and that was a couple weeks ago. So Kurt Scobie has been active. You know what I mean? But once again, this is taking a fight 2 weeks notice against I would say a highly skilled prospect with speed and power.
Highly skilled and very cocky. Yes. Very cocky.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, I think due to the fact if Kurt Scobie had a full training camp, I would give him a better chance. I'll give him more than a puncher's chance in this fight. But as it stands right now, I give him a puncher's chance in this fight, and I'm heavily leaning to Azim, Wash and Scooby, and frustrating him to the point where he might get stopped in the later rounds.
Same here. I'm gonna chalk it up to the speed and the length as well of Azim. So I got Azim.
Let's talk about this next fight. Jack Catterall and Eko the Engine Essuman.
Oh boy.
Of course, Catterall is now training over here in Philadelphia.
Yes, sir.
With none other than Bosley Ennis. I think this is a good to a great fit. Because I put respect on Catterall's style. It's not no typical British style. He's a slickster.
I've always liked Jack.
I mean, and the amount of slick fighters, well-schooled, skilled fighters that are in the Bosley Ennis gym, I think he fits in. He fits in well with that. You know what I mean? So I'm expecting to see improvements.
Me too.
I'm expecting to see a little bit of Philadelphia rub off on him, and so we might see a little bit more aggression. You know what I mean? From
I don't know. Maybe we gonna see something. You best believe that. You can't get in there with Bosley and we don't see nothing. Ooh, wait.
Typical. This is what we say. Typical early stages of a European fighter, specifically a UK fighter. You'll see the losses racked up. 190.
Carl
104. We're almost at 300 losses within 3 fights. You know what I mean? Fights a debutant on his 5th fight. Mind you, Catterall's racking up the KOs. Okay, so then I think in his 10th or 11th fight, he fought Nathan Bro, undefeated guy, stops him. Then he starts to turn it up. Better records, 9-0. Thomas Stocker.
Right.
Don't know who he is, but okay.
It's still looking better.
It's looking a lot better. You know what I mean? Still guys that I've never heard of yet. Martin Gethlin, never heard of him. Tyrone Nurse, he is familiar to me. Domestic level UK fighter. Decisioned him. Looks like one judge had it pretty close though. Other than that, we got Tyrone McKenna. Does he decision him? Of course, O'Hara Davies. We know who he is.
Yeah.
Right. Goes into the fight. Mind you, he's undefeated, and then for undisputed against Josh Taylor at the. I believe he had all 4 belts at the time. Was robbed.
I believe so.
In Glasgow. And lost a split decision.
Yep.
Went on from that and kind of off and on. Wasn't really active and fought like kind of obscure guys. Dara Foley, that was the one to remember. Jorge Linares. He retired Linares, but he didn't really particularly was entertaining in that fight.
Right. A lot of people don't find Jack entertaining. I like him.
A lot of times he's not entertaining. And I think he's entertaining when he's under pressure or he feels threatened.
Indeed. Rises
to the occasion when he, with his massive rival against Josh Taylor, he was entertaining to me against Regis Prograis.
I think so as well.
He wasn't as entertaining against Arnold Barbosa, but did he rate Arnold Barbosa like that?
That fight, I think Arnold just outworked him ultimately. So
It was a close fight,
It was
definitely to
close,
me.
though.
But yeah, I think Barbosa did a little bit more
As the
to
fight
edge it
went
out.
on, yeah, man, yeah.
But Catterall's never been washed.
No,
I've never seen him rocked, actually, come to think of it. Never been on his pockets. He has an excellent defense. It's hard to hit. He's hard to hit. You know what I mean?
yeah, he has good feet defensively. Knows how to move. And being a southpaw, I like how he gets that rear handoff on people. He's pretty. I like Catterall.
He's coming off of the Harlem Eubank victory. That was another forgettable fight.
Yeah. This one might end up being so as well. Just to be honest.
You think so? Eko Essuman he's a guy that you can't say he's not entertaining. He throws a whole lot of punches. You know what I mean? He's not the most technically skilled fighter.
There you go. That's why.
I mean, he's not cute. He is come forward. He does have some skills.
Yeah, he's pressure, but I just something tells me it probably won't be as exciting as maybe we'll think with his pressure either. But you know what? I take that back because we're gonna see a new Jack. We're gonna see a new Jack maybe. So hey,
yeah. Well, he's not much of a power puncher himself. He's 22-1. Only 8 KOs. Is one loss.
A lot. The way he fights, you would think he'd have some knockouts, man.
Yeah. He's a sizable welterweight himself, listed at 5'10", and I think that is accurate. He was about the same size as Josh Taylor. An older welterweight. However, he doesn't have a lot of mileage, especially rough mileage on his clock.
Right.
Now, of course, once again, we see guys with over 100 losses.
Crazy.
In the early stages. So let's zoom on through. They got a similar or a like opponent in Tyrone Nurse.
Yeah.
And this was a majority decision victory for him. In this case, Catterall seemed to do better with Mr. Nurse. After that victory, he doubles that with William
Warburton, yes.
Warburton, 26 and 152 with 10 draws.
Wow.
Stopped him in 6. Absolutely ridiculous. Doubles back to back. A guy with only 2 wins and 26 losses. Did him points victory in a hotel. You know what I mean?
In a hotel.
A hotel in Nottingham. Damn. You find guys like Cedric Paynoy, who's a Frenchman that actually gave Conor Benn a lot of problems early on in Conor Benn's career, knocked him down a multitude of times. That's his claim to fame.
Wow.
Decisioned him in 10 rounds. Not impressed. Finally gets somewhat of a credible win against Danny Ball, undefeated. Stops him in 6. Now we're starting to move up in better opposition. Darren Tetley, another domestic level guy, decisioned him. Samuel Antwi was 14-1 at the time. Decisioned him. That's a good win. And the Chris Congo win was decent. I don't really rate heavily Chris Congo, but that was a decent domestic clash, and he got a majority decision off of that. Lost against Harry Scarf. Harry Scarf ain't bad. Yeah. Well, maybe it was the height. He is 6'1",
Right.
and he does have decent boxing skills. But yeah, he lost to Harry Scarf, and didn't avenge that loss, but fought two guys that were undefeated back to back. Owen Cooper and Ben Vaughn, and then went on to upset Josh Taylor. In my opinion, that was an upset.
Yeah.
And just outworked Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor just looked aged.
He did. It looks like it was just that time for him to go on now.
I mean, the engine did look good, decent in his last fight. You know what I mean? He showed that he's fringe world level, but in my opinion, Jack Catterall is world level.
Exactly.
Once again, I'm very intrigued to see the improvements and what the Bozy and his gym, how it rubs off on Jack Catterall. And I think we are going to see some definite improvements in Jack Catterall's performance. I'm leaning towards him. I won't be reaching and saying that El Gato's going to be stopping the engine and nothing like that. But I think he'll put out the cleaner work, and I think we'll see a little bit more separation than we're used to seeing from Jack.
I agree. Most definitely. I don't know. Jack might come with something like it's gonna be good. That for him anyway. I don't know about Estimate. I just ain't impressed.
Okay, let's get to this the feature main event. The rematch.
The rematch. For the year. Yeah.
That nobody really, I wouldn't say nobody really wanted this rematch.
No, I don't think so.
But I can agree it's the fight of the year so far.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I agree with that. And it wasn't just the fight, just the kind of the optics surrounding it made it so sensational.
Yes. There were so many storylines, whether you want to break it down to the father's involvement,
the history of all that, yes.
Whether you want to break it down to the modern history between the sons and their beef, the back and forth, the failed drug testing, the constant trolling from Chris Eubank and the eggs, exactly.
Man, yes.
The absolute destruction of Pierce Morgan on live TV showed Chris Eubank's absolute worth. You know what I mean when it comes to entertainment. His constant destruction of all the promoters.
Oh my goodness!
During the press conference. Once again, Chris Eubank he's a pound for pound champion when it comes to press conferences.
It sure is. He is. With class. With a touch of class, yeah.
Indeed, you know what I mean? So Eubank Jr. is 35 wins, 3 losses. Been stopped once. That was by Beefy Smith. I still think that's a questionable loss to me.
Me too.
Every time I replay, not because I'm like a Chris Eubank fanboy. Like you can dig in the archives on the War Report right here on YouTube, and I had a funeral. You know what I mean? Me and the rest of the usual suspects buried Chris Eubank Jr.
No.
We buried
He
him.
got elbowed at the end of the day with that one. And he was with Roy. Good Lord, yeah.
So, but I still think that was a questionable loss. I saw an elbow.
It was an elbow.
Connect with his jaw. You know what I mean? So I think he was kind of done dirty in that, but he didn't complain. You know what I mean? He took that literally on the chin. But let's take it all the way back. You know what I mean? We'll probably see the similarities. Actually, not too bad. I was expecting to see guys with over 100 losses down here. Senior wasn't having that. You know what I mean? He said, boy, if you're going to fight, you're going to fight some guys that are going to prepare you for the IBO championship.
Sure you right.
And so this was a standout fight. Him and Billy Joe Saunders. He kind of shitted away the first half of the fight and then turned it up in the last half. And it was arguable to me. I would have, me personally, I would have gave it to Eubanks, but I could see how the judges, two of the judges had it for Billy Joe. You know what I mean? But that was an excellent domestic level fight at that time between two guys coming up in the UK that were trying to, on the cusp of being world level. Right. After that, he recovers nicely. Dmitry Chudinov was somewhat of he was a ranked guy, highly in the WBA. He might have even been a regular a Reggie belt holder at one point. Highly hyped Russian fighter, 14-0-2. Eubank stopped him in 12. Tony Jeter, that was tune-up. That was tune-up fodder. Gary O'Sullivan. Can we say O'Sullivan was washed at this point in 2015? I won't say that.
Not with that record, sir. You can't do that.
Yeah, no. O'Sullivan was still somewhat credible at that time.
Yeah, not yet.
Stopped him in 7. He was styling respectfully on Nick Blackwell. Blackwell, of course, had some complications after the fight. He's not all the way recovered from those injuries. Stopped a nondescript Tom Doran, 17-0. Stopped him in 4. These were and then of course when he got his IBO belt, officially his first world championship against Renald Quinlan. Quinlan ain't shit. He's I'm sorry. Like, he out of Australia. Look at his record now. 17-17.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, old Renald Quinlan.
He got 1 star. Shout out to Quinlan.
Now we gotta put some respect on Eubank's resume and this era right here.
Yes.
So he moves up in weight, or actually he didn't move up in weight because Renald Quinlan was at super middleweight. But this is when he entered I believe it was called the Super 6 tournament. The first round he was matched up against Archer Abraham. Would you say Archer Abraham was watched at this time?
No comments, sir.
I mean,
in the Super 6. I don't know.
He was on the back end. He was on the back end of his championship level career.
Yeah, somebody felt some kind of way about him. Somebody.
Dude, Darrell?
No, I'm saying that you said if he said it, he was in the Super 6.
No, yeah, you know what I mean? Well, the first round at least.
He felt some kind of way enough to put him up in that thing, so.
Well, shit, Andy Gilderoy was in that bitch.
Yeah, and he was bopping Good job on Abney in that fight.
That was a spectacular knockout from Chris Eubank against Envy. And came up short against George Groves, unfortunately. I mean, but toughed it out. I mean, lost the 12-round decision. Rebound from that, nondescript JG McDonough. Then he, I believe, signed with PBC. PBC staged their first fight internationally in the UK. And he watched James DeGaulle.
Yeah.
Was James DeGaulle watched at the time, do you think?
Oh, maybe by the looks, but no. With the record, you'd say no. I would say no. 2 losses ain't washed me. Well, let me not say that. We just saw something this past weekend. I'm like, dude, ooh, sheesh. He looked a little washed. I ain't gonna lie.
That was a good win. You know what I mean, former gold medalist James DeGaulle, in my opinion. His American debut against Matt Vey or Matty Korobov. Korobov retired with a shoulder injury after 2 rounds. He was piecing up Eubanks early on in the round, but shit, if your body can't hold together, like that ain't Chris Eubanks' fault.
Thanks.
Marcus Morrison, he styled on him. Everybody wanted the stoppage though, but he couldn't get it. Marcus Morrison was tough. I don't even remember this fight. Wanik Awijan.
Yeah.
He has a glossy record, but knocked him out in 5. But I don't remember this guy at all.
Retired after being hurt by a body shot, so maybe that's why he's not memorable. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, you put hands and feet on Liam Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was something nasty. Of course, the controversial elbow from Beefy, resulting in a 4th-round stoppage.
Liam's, yeah.
And wasn't these the times where he had enlisted Roy Jones Jr. as his trainer? Yes,
that's what I said earlier, boy. And he was trying to fight like Roy. We're not gonna even touch that. Yeah.
So Roy gets excluded from the situation, and
in comes Bomac,
and you see the result: 10th round stoppage. Now the Smith camp wants to say that we were forced to take the fight when we weren't ready. Smith only had such and such amount of time in camp and blah blah. But
truthfully, I believe Chris was beating Liam before he got cornered and elbowed.
Facts. In the first fight. Whole facts.
Yeah. So there's no excuse. And he looked even better getting back on that jab, and it was beautiful jab that he got with a Bomac. So yeah.
He styled on Camille Zarameta, who's I would say a high-level European fighter.
I didn't see that one.
That was on a Riyadh season show.
Yes.
Early in the undercards.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't see that.
And of course his last fight was a classic fight of the year with Conor Benn, but he did take some damage in that fight from the smaller and younger Conor Benn.
Man, yeah, Conor was on him. Oh boy, big boy.
Conor, no honor, Ben. 23-1. Of course, the loss coming from Chris Eubank Jr. I think his punching power is overrated. When you look at his record, on paper, dude, 14 KOs. Like, it's really good.
Before pre-egg, Chris anyway was very wiry, like a totally different looking individual. So I don't know.
We see that Box Rec is keeping it real, and they have him listed as a super welterweight because the Ben Camp and Matchroom keep banging us over the head that he's coming up from 147. This boy ain't fought at 147 since when? We gonna see. We gonna see right now. You know what I mean? He's now 29 years old. Fights out of the orthodox stance. 5'8". That's questionable to me as well. But let's look early on. Binaries.
Yeah, but that's not bad. Again, we're starting. We're just getting started. He made an actual progression. It kind of looks like. Even though
here's the fight against Cedric Paynoid. Boy was down in the first round. I think he was down more than that. The box rec need to check this shit.
They be flying with that. There ain't no cap.
So it was so bad. At least the boy avenged that, and it wasn't even a loss. They robbed Paynoid, but No Honor was honorable enough to fight Cedric Paynoid again and wash him properly the second time. I'm still not recognizing any of these guys.
No.
Juicy.
Wow.
Okay, we finally land on somebody notable. The German former IBO champion Sebastian Formella.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when we suspect that Conor No Honor Ben start eating a lot of eggs, which I'm doing now.
He was getting juicy.
Which I'm eating like four hard boiled eggs a day.
He did pick up some size.
I'm trying to kick it up to 8.
Yeah, that's also when he had a good beard transplant and some tats.
So he watched Formella, obliterated the Canadian Samuel Vargas, who was, I would say, fringe world class. He was a gatekeeper type at the time. Was expected to give some type of rounds to the young Conor Benn, and
he don't get to be washed with his 6 losses.
No, you're right. I mean, he was on the rinse cycle, if anything. And I mean, I don't know if he was fully washed, but yeah, he was definitely rinsed.
He did all right.
I mean,
he was
Adrian Granados had 7 losses at the time, and I wouldn't say he was washed. I mean, he was a tough cookie at the time, but he was out of his weight class. Adrian Granados, to me, his best work was at 140. But decent win. Chris Algieri, shout out to him, but he got obliterated. But once again, the eyebrows are raised on the egg consumption from No Honor Ben.
Yeah, he had some pop all of it. Yeah.
The usually sturdy and reliable Chris Van Heerden demolished him in 2.
Crazy work. He was even bigger in that fight. Just got a little bit bigger.
So that's when the pop, after this Chris Van Heerden fight happened,
Yep.
Old boy popped during the COVID times. I think he was scheduled to fight Chris Eubank Jr. for the first time.
Yep.
And this is when all this shit came up.
And instead of him not being able to fight nowhere at all, where did he land? Good old Eddie got him a fight over here.
Hey, Eddie is his promoter and doing his job. Yeah. We gotta put some blame on the American Commission that
I did at the time.
That was like, hey, he threw away his British boxing license so he couldn't get further punishment, but they let him. They pretty much gave him free sanctuary. Free sanctuary to fight over here.
Right.
And I mean, fight in Vegas. You see where after he went to Florida and beat Rodolfo Orozco in a forgettable fight, mind you. He beat Peter Dobson in another forgettable fight. Peter Dobson was giving him a little bit of problems, but that was in Vegas.
Yep.
No punishment. He finally works it out with the British Boxing Board of Commission somehow, some way. I still don't know the results or what conclusions that they've came to, but they said, we need this money. We need this money, and these motherfuckers is about to sell out Tottenham Stadium, and they damn sure did.
Yeah, they did. They showed up and showed out, and they got a nice little surprise when Pop showed up with Chris. We all did, you know.
Now he performed pretty good in that fight. I give him credit for his performance in that fight. Of course, there was definitely a lot of mistakes, a lot of wild swings.
He was wild.
Conor Benn vulnerable to Chris Eubank's counterpunching ability, but
I think the length was giving him issues too, trying to get inside. Chris held him at the end of that jab for the most part. So. Yeah.
But if he's able to replicate some of what he did in the early rounds for the full fight, he's going to be a problem. He is explosive, and he does have great head movement when he's not tired.
Right.
In the early on, he has great explosive abilities and great head movements. So I would like to see at another year coming into his prime, Conor Benn potentially could have improved. Like he keeps on harping on, he was back in the gym the next day while our boy Chris Eubank was still in the hospital.
But he said he was in the hospital with them, so I guess he must not have been as injured
for checkup, and then left.
Yeah, I say he must not have been as injured. So,
but let's not act like Chris Eubank was in there because it was solely because of the damage that kind of been put on him. A lot of it was result from the poor weight cut that Chris Eubank endured.
Yeah, he had to rehydrate still. Which, again, I'm curious how that goes in this fight going forward. You know, because you're cutting back down again.
Well, I'm still leaning towards Chris Eubank Jr.
Same here.
And and I think, there is question about, has Eubank slowed down a little bit? Has he lost some of his legs? Possibly.
That has yet to be seen. Maybe. He slowed down though for sure. But he still has the skill level, and being older, I guess you would call him the wily old vet in comparison. You know what I mean? He has more experience. So,
but with that, I think bringing back Womack,
yes,
into a full training camp, I think we'll see that much more separation.
I think so as well. That's another reason why I'm rolling with Eubank again in this one.
Respectfully, I don't think Jonathan Banks is all that he's a decent coach. You know what I mean? But Chris Eubank ain't a decent man. He's a good to great man. You know what I mean? And we need to get good to great trainers. You know what I mean? For good to great fighters.
I agree.
So, yeah, I think this is a definite plus for Eubank Jr. I got him possibly even stopping Conor Benn in the later rounds. I don't know if I'm going to put it on paper, though.
Well, he almost did. So it's highly possible to me. Conor, that was rough at the end there for Conor. It was rough at the end for both of them. But remember, he almost had Conor up out of there.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's what I said. I think I'm excited to see. I know it's not something we asked for, but the historical significance of the fathers and the sons, and then everything you talked about. Eubank putting on in these press conferences and on the I forget the man's show. I don't like him.
Oh, Piers
Morgan show, just all of it. To me, a lot of people maybe didn't. I wasn't planning on even watching the first fight, but after the egg smash, man, I was like, I am sold. I'm in this thing. And I don't regret it. This was a good build-up fight, and now we're getting the rematch. So, shout out to them for continuing that legacy of their father.
I would say this is pay-per-view worthy, even though that these guys aren't championship level fighters, or they don't have belts on the line.
I agree.
The entertainment was so great in the first fight. I think it's deserved of that pay-per-view stamp. And the undercards are a lot better than what we've seen from the past week or past weeks with Queensberry and the British promoters.
There's a lot of money too for that, by the way, Frank Warren, with the crappy undercard, sir.
Yeah, that Parker, the Parker Worthy undercard was absolute trash. This one should be a lot more interesting. We got Richard Biakpo making his return in the heavyweight division against another undefeated UK level fighter, but
I like Richard.
That should be interesting. And of course, Catterall, Essuman, Azim, Scobie are all great fights to definitely support this classic main event. And I'm looking forward to, once again, the fight, but what happens after the fight? Will Chris Eubank Jr. move on to fight a middleweight champion? Will he target guys like Carlos Adames? Will he finally go and challenge the winner of Janabek and Old Man Lara?
It's looking like he has intentions to do just that. So, shout out to him. He has called out. I want to say it was Adames.
And what's the prospects of Conor Benn? Is he really going to go back down to 147, which I highly doubt he'll be able to do?
So he says.
How does he fit into the mix at 154, which is a deep division? Landmines everywhere you walk.
I tell you what,
unless Eddie serves him up Lima.
being wild, I'm sure that will happen right off the top. Being the wildling he is, though, I could just see him getting murked by just Brandon Adams. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go.
That is definitely not a good matchup
It's
for
a
Conor
beautiful
Conor Benn.
matchup. I like it. Shit.
Yo, you on your top rank shit trying to set up a nigga to get beat, huh?
Call me matchmaker. Yes, sir.
Once again, these fights will be happening Saturday afternoon. Main event probably be around 5:36ish, in and around them times. I know the whole card probably starts 3:30, 4 p.m. Eastern time.
I'm not sure for sure.
But of course, those are our midday fights. This last fight of the US6 fight card will be happening in the evening time in Mexico. And we're gonna have to check out on this whole Top Rank Tubi thing.
Top Rank Tubi, is that what you said?
Yeah, because this is definitely gonna be on Tubi, broadcasting on Tubi, the Top Rank. I believe it's called the Top Rank Classics channel.
Yeah, which you can also watch on Roku if you have a Roku device.
Right.
Top Rank Classics, Physio.
Right.
It was another one. It always slips my mind, but yeah, we'll be able to watch it for the free. Shout out to the blog.
Yeah, shout out to them. You know what I mean? So this is our only legitimately championship fight on the US6 fight card. I think this is for the WBO championship. If I'm not mistaken. We got Rafael Ezpinoza. 27-0, glossy record, 23 KOs. He is a big dude for this weight class.
Ridiculously.
This is the featherweight weight class. What's this? 126. 6'1".
Rafael Ezpinoza. That's what his name should be.
El Divino. Out of the same area or city as old boy Cinnamon. Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico.
Jalisco. Yeah.
Okay.
Redonkulousness.
Yeah, typically early Mexican diet.
Of course.
And still unimpressed. And really was in a literal obscurity until he was put in as the B-side against Robeisy Ramirez and came up with the absolute upset.
Yeah.
In the middle of that, beat Sergio Sanchez, knocked him out in 4. And we thought the Robeisy fight was a fluke. They doubled it back, and he knocked him out this time in 6. Have we seen Robeisy since?
He didn't knock him out, man. Robeisy, no, we haven't. He cracked that man's eye socket with the elbow, for the record. Because, I remember doing the video on that. I was outraged because he was dirty in this fight as well. Shout out to Rafael for being the king of elbows, grabbing behind people's head and punching you in the face kind of stuff. Like, it's ridiculous.
Okay, so it's a stoppage with an asterisk on it.
Yes, for me. People gotta judge for themselves.
He comes off of that controversial win and stops Eddie Vasquez
in 7 rounds, leading him up to Arnold Khegai.
Yeah.
A Ukrainian fighter.
Yes, sir.
Well, he must be like part Korean or something.
He looks Japanese to me. Even the name is reminiscent.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Khegai. 33-year-old fighter, 23-2 with 1 draw. Not the biggest puncher, 14 KOs.
Right.
Hasn't been stopped though.
Nope.
Fights out of LA. Small fighter, 5'5".
Yes.
So already tells me he's gonna have definite issues with Rafael Ezpinoza.
I think so, for sure.
Fought most of his early career in Russia, actually,
Mm-hmm.
on the hard Russian circuit. Got his first American fight against Adam Lopez, who was 16-2-2. Decisioned him in Philadelphia, and start moving up from there. But nothing really too mind blowing.
Is that Blue Nose Adam? Not sure. Just curious.
Adam Lopez here. I believe might be.
I don't know if his last name is Lopez. No, it's not.
Nope.
Blue Nose. Okay.
But he went in there with Cool Boy Steph
Yes, sir.
and got washed.
Yes, he did.
After the Cool Boy Steph washing, nobody you know. I'm not particularly impressed. Yeah, these guys have winning records, but this isn't the type of fights that I would expect for a guy to be moving up the ranks with.
Correct.
You finally find the fights a named opponent, Zaur Gonzalez, who I don't rate too highly myself. He was 26-4 at the time. Easily beaten by the pound for pound talent Shakur Stevenson. Zaur Gonzalez was able to beat Arnold Khegai by split decision.
Yeah.
My opinion, I remember seeing that fight. I had Gonzalez win. I didn't have no problem with that. Them giving it to Gonzalez.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like shout out to Gonzalez. He had that fight with Figgy, and I think he beat Figgy. Yeah.
Whole facts.
So maybe that could be to Khagai's credit. Yeah.
There's not much credit given. 8-rounder against Liberio Solis. And that is supposed to prepare him for this 6'1" featherweight Rafael Ezpinoza that likes to throw elbows.
Ain't nobody gonna prepare you for that one, sir. No. Sadly.
Elbows are not, I believe, Khagai's food for Espinoza in Mexico, which is essentially a hometown fight for him. If any of the fights end in stoppage, I would bet this one would be the one.
Sure enough. Sure enough. No question, sir. I'm in agreement. It's gonna might be a little nasty, even though he hasn't been stopped, right?
No, he ain't been stopped, but
it's coming.
Yeah, it's the first time for everything. And then his cherry might get popped. Most definitely. On that card as well, we have Emiliano Vargas. He's taking his undefeated record, fighting in a 10-rounder against Jonathan Montreal, who's 19-3 on a 4-fight winning streak. Not bad. See if Montreal will test the young, hyped Emiliano Vargas. We also got Richard Torres.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Torres making his return
Against Tomas Salik.
Yes, against Tomas Salik. Are we expecting a test for the young Rocco? No, I don't believe.
No.
I don't believe so. This is going to be probably just a shake off the rust type of fight.
I think so.
We see this guy's level. First of all, he's a heavyweight fighter out of Chechnya. Not even Chechnya.
It's another. It's
Chechnya.
Chechnya.
The old Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no heavyweights out. Nah.
I think this is definitely to shake off some rust. Seeing as how he called out.
Losing to Pavel Sauer.
Ooh. Yeah.
Knocked out by Cash Ali. Fought Pavel Sauer again and actually beat him in a close fight for the Czech heavyweight title. Okay. Nathan Gorman stopped him and won. Terrible.
Yeah, this is to shake the rust off.
Nope.
Richie called out Toma, so they just trying to get him back in gear, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's all this is. So yeah, don't expect that fight to be long. We also got Lindolfo Delgado undefeated.
Yeah. I like
He's
Lindolfo.
going up against Gola Venezuela. Fucking get this damn ad to move out the way.
I don't get those on mine. I don't know what the hell.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there. Gabriel Gola is Venezuela.
Yep.
I was contemplating making this a pick 'em, but yeah.
I'm glad you didn't. It's been a lot going on this week, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Look, I'm surprised Queen didn't throw that in. We had to vote on that. Shout out to Queen 71. She be on it.
Definitely on it. She's number 2 with 50 points.
With reason. Shout out to Queen.
Indeed. Well, that was another episode. Once again, Queen Shawa, I thank you for navigating us through these fights with me.
Thank you for having me.
We got a big Sunday coming up. I believe you were a special guest host on Tales of the B-Side.
Yes, I am. Very excited.
Be on the lookout for that. Coming this Sunday on the Usual Suspect 6 Sports and Entertainment Hub. We got the former heavyweight champion Hannah Gabriels speaking her truth and telling her story on what's been going down with her in regards to the failed drug tests, the reasonings behind that, the improper handling of her case by VADA, which is definitely interesting.
Correct.
VADA always gets painted with a light of they're never wrong, but in this case, in her stories, which you will hear in detail this Sunday, once again hosted by KG, TD Sports Talk, and the Queen, Shawala Yah, you're going to hear the whole breakdown.
As well as documentation will be provided.
Nah, lies, and receipts.
Show you right.
Salute to everybody. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Hit up the comment section. And we'll see y'all in week 11. And your favorite yet your most hated Oddfella. Salute to the usual suspects. Salute to all the players in the usual suspect 6 fight pool. And we gets on.